Matthew 13, Jesus explains a parable about a sower of seed, this farmer who's really excited about the harvest, but it also talks about seeds that are planted by his enemy. These bad seeds turn into weeds, which steal nutrients from the good plants. These other seeds that are living amongst the good seeds are stealing nutrients. And so Jesus says that the devil actually plants these bad seeds among us. And as I'm reading in Matthew 15, it says right here, every plant not planted by my heavenly Father will be uprooted. So just a little while later, Jesus says something about it again. Every plant not planted by my Father. That's a really scary thing to think about when you understand the parable in Matthew 13 and he emphasizes it again. And also when you realize the context of Matthew 15, he's talking about the religious leaders of that day. He's talking about the Pharisees because they were offended at Jesus. Whenever his disciple says, don't you realize you offended the Pharisees just now? And he's like, every plant that's not planted by my Father, he's calling them of the devil. And these are the religious leaders. These are the people who are supposedly the righteous ones. That's crazy. There are many among us that are bad seeds. Further down in that verse, that's where he says the blind guide's leading the blind. Basically, these people that are bad seeds, they don't even realize that they're bad seeds. Somewhere in the Bible, Jesus says, unless your righteousness exceeds that of the scribes and the Pharisees, the religious leaders, you won't enter the kingdom of heaven. Think about that. If your righteousness doesn't exceed the religious leaders, the people that are up here, then you won't enter. Because he's looking at them like, really, they down here. They look like they're up here. Man, one of my friends said something the other day. He said the church is in trouble when the church gets fascinated by things that is not fascinating to God. The Pharisees and all that they were about, there was nothing entertaining about it to Jesus. He said you got to at least exceed their righteousness. All I know is, because I don't know the answer to everything at all I know is Jesus came to fulfill the law for us. He came, did it perfectly. He's the only person. Righteousness is a gift. Jesus is our righteousness. So all I know is, man, when you put your faith in Yeshua, the Son of God, then Yahweh sees you as righteous. Also, on another note, I just gotta say this, don't be a Pharisee. If you look at their lives compared to Jesus, don't be like that, man. If you start slipping into that, check your heart, man. On other note, what was the thing that the Pharisees had a major issue with? And it's the same thing that God hates. It's pride. See, they were self-righteous. A lot of us can get self-righteous, man. It's a problem. But when we really keep our eyes in the right place, looking up to heaven rather than at ourselves, and don't allow ourselves to get self-righteous, and we keep in mind that righteousness is a gift, then it allows us to remain humble rather than thinking that we better than anybody else.